Okay, got the recording on. Perfect. So let me give you a quick intro if that's all right, Jason.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today another esteemed guest and a real life trader. His name is Jason Jackson, and he lives actually not far from me, up in the Kentucky area. And this is Mr. Jason right here. Jason on the phone with us today. The reason I'm interviewing Jason, many reasons, but one of the reasons is I love this guy's demeanor. I love the way he thinks. I love the way he talks. I like how open he is and how discussive about issues and problems and challenges. So we're gonna have a great chat with Jason. Jason, how are you, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Jeremy?
Good, man. I miss you.
Hey, same here, man. Thanks for the beautiful intro.
Yes, dude. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself, man. Who are you? Where'd you grow up? What was life like? And why do you trade the market? Give everyone a little bit of background.
Well, I grew up in a little town east of Chicago, right on the border in Indiana. It's called East Chicago, Indiana, by the way. Home of people like, let's see, Kenny Lofton, baseball player, current NBA player, Etwan Moore, small town, economically impoverished, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just one of those towns, man. You grew up in, and it's still home, though. It's still home, definitely. Basically, I'm 43 years old. Married, kids, and just trying to figure it out, man. You know, met you, Jeremy, and you changed my train of thinking, so to speak. So, yeah.
But do you still go back to that? What's it called? East Chicago, Indiana?
Yeah, East Chicago, Indiana. It's crazy. It's like East St. Louis and St. Louis. It's one of those deals. But, yeah, it's right on the border of South Chicago, in between Gary, Indiana, and Chicago, Illinois. Yeah.
Gotcha. So when you mention impoverished, is that do you go back there often? Is that something that you still have family down there?
Yeah, I still have family there. I have a sister there. My mom is there, and I have two brothers that's there. But I don't go back very often. My grandmother raised me, and when she passed on, I kind of distance myself from that area because going back there, it puts you in a different mindset. Puts you like if I go there, I go to Chicago, a bigger city. But as far as going back there, it's really, really depressing.
Yeah.
To me, it's depressing.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to go back there. The last time I went back there, I had a friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, who passed away, unfortunately, and it was just a sad situation. So I don't go back there very often.
Right. No, it makes sense. I mean, it's well, what's depressing about it in your opinion? I mean, is it just the energy? Is it the people? Is it mindsets? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the energy definitely, and the mindsets definitely. I think the energy in a place like that can do one or two things to a person. It can bring you down, or it can make you kind of just shake your head in a sense, like, you know, you wish that people would want better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's not very much you can do because the mindset is set in. You know, there's not a whole lot of jobs. There's not a whole lot of outside of Chicago. No, you go to Chicago, go downtown, see the big buildings, big lights and everything. But as far as there's a lot of crime. And Chicago in and of itself has a lot of crime. But the mindset is just not the way I think now.
Yeah.
And not taking anything away from the people that are there. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of good people there.
Sure.
but it's just, you know, when you think outside the box, which is something that I, you know, learned from you, you know, there's enough, you know, you go back there and people say, there's no jobs, there's no money. And, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, you know, I woke up this morning and my first thought, and probably it's because of what we talked about, but money does grow on trees. You know, money is plentiful. And once I realized that, it took a lot of stress off of me, and it changed my mindset of things. You know, do I still struggle, you know, with every now and then trying to break that mindset? Absolutely.
Right.
Because I've been thinking this way for, you know, 40 plus years.
Right.
But at the same time, I do believe that there's enough money out there. I mean, the whole scarcity mindset and the whole scarcity thing with our economy and with how people think, I think is just malarkey. Is bull crap.
Yeah.
And there is enough out there. You know, you just have to know how to go get it.
Right.
It's a numbers game.
Right. Absolutely, man. That's again, I love it, dude. You're so correct. That is a big shift to make, to just be from the scarcity to the abundance. What's your line of work now? What do you specialize in?
Well, I currently own a cleaning company that I've been owning. I've owned since 2015, March of 2015, and basically I do commercial accounts. We strip floors, wax floors, and things like that. And basically, I started that because it was easy entry, and I knew how to do it already. It was something I already knew how to do, had experience in doing. And it was for the work that you put in, you know, I can turn it around real quick and make a quick profit. So I spend one night in the store. Right now I'm doing a lot of Walgreens stores, but you spend one night in the store, you can make up to anywhere between $10 or $3,000. It just depends on how you bid the job, how big the job is.
Sure.
And, you know, and the way I look at it is like, you can make money like that working a 9-to-5, but normally you can't make money like that working a 9-to-5. So my thing is, I'll take my chances doing something like that for myself as opposed to doing it for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the biggest challenges in your opinion with doing commercial cleaning?
Just dealing with managers. That's something that I'm going through right now. A lot of the managers, a lot of accounts that you work for, they have no clue what it takes to perform a strip,
right?
To wax a floor. They have no clue. But then, you know, you come in and they want you to do this and do that, and you're looking like, well, wait a minute, that's, you know, that wasn't part of the deal, or it's not enough time to do this and that and the other. So just dealing with that. And like for my business right now, I'm making the transition to being mainly the contractor instead of the subcontractor. I'm trying to get rid of all my subcontract work, because being a subcontractor is like being the middleman.
Yeah.
You know, it's like allowing somebody to do your, allowing somebody to work the market for you, basically. You know, when you can do it yourself. But most people will defer that and be like, well, I don't want to do it. I'll let the professional do it. And they don't realize, like, well, wait a minute. You know, you can go out and get those accounts yourself, or you can go out and do those things yourself. It just takes a little effort, very little effort, you know, once you get into it and once you learn it. But, you know, starting out, that's the route I had to take, and now I'm trying to transition to that, because I see there's a lot more money to be made being the contractor and bidding the jobs myself. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's also another, like you mentioned, that's a big mindset change, and it is tough. I mean, what's in your opinion one of the struggles that holds a lot of people back from going from a 9-to-5 job to working for themselves?
I think fear. I think hearing all your life that, oh, just go get a 9-to-5, you know, or just allowing other people to be in your ear and putting the right things in your mind and in your spirit. I think that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? Seeing other people do it, not listening to naysayers, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Those type of things are toxic to an abundant mindset. Mm. I mean, I look at it like, you know, I see, you know, I've been following, like for you example, I've been following you for years, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I was following you when you didn't know I was following you. I was listening, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I was listening to you when you didn't even know about me. But I saw you and your growth. And I said, well, why not me? Mm-hmm. You know, am I where you are now? No. Will I be? Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? And you will progress, and I'll progress also, and I'll be, you know, right behind you, maybe at a slower pace, but I'll be right behind you in the learning curve. You know what I mean? And people have to believe that.
Right.
You know, like one thing about being in an area where that mindset, that lack mindset is so rampant, is people feel like there's always something up someone's sleeve. You know, they feel like, oh, that can't be true. Or no, the market is rigged. Or no, you can't own your own business, because they never seen anybody do it. Mm. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you never seen anybody do it, yes, you're going to feel that way.
Yeah.
Now, is there some things that's rigged? Is there a lot of gurus out there that just, you know, take people money and swindle people out of their cash? But that's everywhere. That's just the society we live in. That's everywhere. But there is people out there who's hardworking and who makes a good living for themselves, just by saying, you know, I can do this. And once again, like I said, Jimmy, it's a numbers game. You know, if I go out and, you know, my next campaign, for example, my next campaign is going to be going out and talking to churches, trying to get accounts, because they have a lot of VCT flooring, and stuff like that. So talking to churches, giving them my information. So say, for example, I go out to 100 churches tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Okay. My goal is, if I can get 7 maybes and close 3, I'm good out of that 100.
Yeah.
Now people would say, well, dang, that's a lot. Well, the thing is, it's about selling yourself. It's about selling what you have, but you have to put the numbers in your favor. You can't go out just 10 times, or maybe you can go out 10 times and your first 3 is a hit, or your first 2, but you want to put the numbers in your favor. Mm-hmm. Once you put the numbers in your favor, now it's up to you. Now it's up to you to execute, because now you get to sit down. All I want is a sit down. Once I get a sit down, then I can sit face-to-face and talk to you, or email, or however you want to do it. But now we can negotiate. Now I can see what your need is, and I can try to meet your need with what I have to offer. So you put the numbers in your favor, you're more likely to be successful, but a lot of people don't look at it that way. You know, it's just like kind of what you do. You know, we were sitting having breakfast that morning, and there's a bunch of people sitting there, and all of a sudden a guy come up to you and give you his card. say, hey, go call me, or you gave him your information, whichever way it went. But that was a numbers thing, you know what I mean? We were just sitting there chilling, but you put yourself in that position to be heard.
Right.
And he hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You really, it is a numbers game. And that fear, I think you're totally correct. That fear of getting the rejection or getting the no's, it certainly holds a lot of people back, and it really does translate into the market. It's something that I'm going to talk more about soon, Jason, when, maybe make a video in the near future. But you've probably heard the statistic that 95% of people fail, in trading or whatever it is. But that's how many people fail in general at anything if they try that's something hard. How many people fail trying to create a commercial cleaning business?
Right.
Maybe it's not 95, but it can be 80. I'm sure it's a big percentage. It doesn't really matter, because at some point it's going to give up, they're going to quit, or they do it for a year and they get tired of it and then they just throw in the towel.
Exactly.
That could also be failure. So what's your vision for growth for your company, for your commercial cleaning? How do you go from where you are now to 10x, for example?
I think for me, my vision is, once again, is to put the numbers in my favor. I think I want to be at least 150,000 to 200,000 within the next 2 years of business. And I believe, with everything that's more than possible.
Yeah.
It's like you said, like you told me when we met, I need to start thinking in billions and numbers. And if you break down numbers in small increments, then it adds up to big things. So that's kind of where I am headed towards. But not even that, I want to grow the business so I can do other things. You know what I mean? I want to trade. I had somewhat of a setback the past 4 months or so. Well, I was working at a company, and the company, the ethics was just horrible. They had a big shift. They had a big shift in management, and we were basically taking care of people, and they didn't care about that. All they cared about was turning a profit, and that's okay, because I'm in the business of turning a profit myself, but at the same time, I won't do that at the expense of other people, just not giving them quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe you got to give quality to get quality. They were expecting quality out of the employees, but they weren't giving the clients that they were serving quality.
I see.
They were shorting them on things and on their needs, and these people had brain injury, so they're thinking they couldn't really do anything for themselves. So I just had to kind of disassociate myself from that company. Unfortunately, I took a hit, but I was okay with that, because at the end of the day, I was able to sleep.
Yeah.
So now I just have to readjust and move forward.
Absolutely, totally. And did that cause a setback in your trading as well?
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. It took a hit because it made me more busy. My stress level had gone up a little bit. I think I talked with you about that at some point in time during that time, that it really threw a curveball at me. It was just, I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I didn't see it coming. But at the same time, I learned a lot from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned that each and every day I have to inch closer to what my goal is, and not be complacent. And I think what the 9 to 5 does to me, and this is just me personally, is it allows you to be complacent.
Mm.
You know, I remember you stated to me, you said, Jay, don't go back. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, well, Jeremy, you know, I get it, but in order for me to move forward, I may have to go back. I remember thinking that. But I never went back.
Yeah.
Like I never got a 9 to 5. And I still don't have a 9 to 5, and I'm still pushing my business, and I'm still eating, and I'm still growing. But that allows complacency to set in. Now, will I ever go back to a 9 to 5? I don't know. You know what I mean? If it's right for me in the business and my family, maybe. But at the same time, even so, they can't pay me enough because I'm capped. You know what I mean? They're only going to pay me so much. You know, in business, if you send out a few more emails, or if you get out and talk to a few more people, network with a few more people, what's going to happen to your bottom line, Jeremy? You're going to make more money. You're going to help more people. You're going to create more value. And that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to help more people, create more value. But turning that mindset, turning 30-plus years, 40-plus years mindset into the mindset that you have and have, you know, done so successfully could be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because everybody around you is thinking, you know, a certain way. It's like even with my kids, I got them jobs, you know, they're working now. And I'm trying to get them to grab the concept. Even though they're 16 and 17, I'm trying to get them to grab the concept, hey, pay yourself first.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, you're working at McDonald's, but you're making H&M rich, you're making Route 21 rich, you're making all these other places. What about you?
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
You know?
Yep. Very valid point. Very, very valid point. I mean, that's huge, man. Like just that whole concept. So tell me about your children. Are you are they trading? Are they interested in the markets? Are you just trying your best with that? How does that look right now?
Well, they are. Like I said, I have a sophomore and junior in high school. My son is there, right next to you at Belmont.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing this music thing, and he knows my mindset. The girls, the sophomore and the junior, I did get them to take a business course in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about as far as I got.
Yeah.
They took a business course, and I think they're enjoying it. I just wanted them to see that you don't have to depend on anybody.
Yeah.
You know, just like Apple or just like Amazon or just like any other company out there, somebody had to start it.
Yep.
You know, somebody had the idea.
Yep.
You know, your company. You had the idea a long time ago. You know, at first you were working for someone else. You know, you got a following. You was teaching. You were doing your thing. You got an understanding of what you were doing. And you said, you know what? I can take the bull by his horns. I can do this myself. And that's what you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you travel all over the world teaching what you love to teach. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's so possible for so many people to do that in anything they want to do. I mean, here's a good example, man. Listen to this. I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but I think you'll like it. When my dad retired, one of the things that he wanted to do was to just go take pictures of birds. Like he was kind of like in the bird watching thing, but he didn't really want to watch them to like check them off the list. He just wanted to take a photo of every bird possible. That was kind of like one of his goals. And he didn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
Every one. But listen to this. He went on to Google and pulled it up and typed in, professional bird watching tours in different countries. And sure enough, there is a whole bunch of websites and articles and videos and courses and people who they pay a tour guide, someone who's a specialist in taking bird photos in other parts of the world. I mean, how specific?
Wow.
And when I heard that, my mind was like, man, if that is a thing, anyone can do anything they want. And I think that was when I was probably 19 or 20 at that point. But he was going and he was paying money to go to Istanbul and Spain and Puerto Rico and Costa Rica, and he was paying people to go and to teach about his camera and teach how to take pictures and get the lighting and the apertures and all that kind of good stuff. I was honestly just mesmerized when he told me that. But it just goes to show
wow.
The internet, the way it is right now, anyone can do anything they want.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's incredible. It's really just an amazing advent. But yeah, man. I mean, I think that's really great that you had your children go through the business course and see what they like and see what they understand and kind of take away on a few things. What companies do you invest or do you trade or do you buy any of the companies that they buy from? Like you mentioned, H&M. I think that's publicly traded. I can't actually remember if it is. H&M.
Yeah. Apple. Apple, Amazon. They love Netflix. Those are all companies that are on my watch list. I wear a lot of Under Armour, which is one of the companies that I invest in. Companies that I use. A great guy once told me, to look at those companies, put those on your watch list. Something that you're familiar with.
Yeah, well, Under Armour had a huge move recently, man. Good for you. That was nice.
Yeah. And a lot of things is going on with Under Armour, like the acquisition, some of the athletes that they've picked up. But you know how the market is. Not only that, like when something like that happens, you expect a big move, but then a lot of times the market will go the other way.
Yeah.
Just because, you know what I mean? Just because it's the market. But at the same time, I look at companies like that. And the market is something. The thing that is amazing to me about the market is I can't think of anything, not even my company. I can't think of anything that there is out there that I want to do for the rest of my life. But when it comes to watching the market and trading the market, that is something that I will do for the rest of my life because that's what makes the world go round.
Boom. That's right.
I mean, consumer products is what makes things go. I mean, everything. I mean, everything that you look at.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at my little boys, my little son, my little 1-year-old, his Little Tikes basketball goal. That company is publicly traded. You know what I mean? Whoever makes Little Tikes, I don't know who makes it, but whoever makes it, I guarantee you is publicly traded. I'm looking at a vacuum cleaner, Hoover.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a TV, LG.
Yeah.
All these things that we use. And when you look at it that way from that perspective, Jeremy, it's like once you learn the basics, once you learn the basics of the market, then it's not as difficult as people think.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quite easy because once you, it's quite simple, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, but it's simple because there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of directions you can go. You can do iron condos. You can do this. You can do that. You can do this. There's a lot of things you can do, which makes it confusing. That's what makes it confusing. But the simplicity of learning one thing and getting good at that one thing before you move on to that next thing is genius to me.
Yeah.
Because you can make so much money doing that one thing because the market is so vast. So you can find one stock or two stocks or three stocks, sit on those stocks and work what you know how to do and make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? It's so.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
You know, that's so wild. You know, like I remember when I first started, and like that's what really done it for me when it came to your teaching, because you kept it simple and you didn't move on to iron condors and all this other stuff until your students got the basics.
Yeah.
You're like, no, get used to this first, and like, you mean you can go online and you can look at other, and no knock on how other people teach, but it's just different styles.
Right.
And you can look at what they talk about, and they'll send me emails. I get emails all the time. Oh, check out this new pattern. Check out this new way of trading, or this or that. And I'm thinking like, well, if you're sending that to me, how about the newbie, the novice, that who you may be sending this to, and he or she may be like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they may be lost. They probably don't even know the basics. They probably don't even know about support and resistance, and here you are talking about this. So it's like you can make a lot of money, and that's where I'm going to get to where I can sit and just chill out with my 4 or 5 stocks, watch them closely, watch what they're doing, look at the patterns, look at the support and resistance, and play it off of that.
Easy, simple, man. Are you going to play shares, or are you going to play options?
I'm going to do options just because of the leverage, but I will do I will do some shares long term. Mm-hmm. So, you know, with that being said, I'll definitely do some shares long term. Some companies that I really like, that I see future growth. You know, there's some companies out there like you and I talked about, you know, like your Apples and, you know, your Under Armours, companies like that. You look at their track record and you look back and you see the growth. It's like, wow. Like Netflix, for instance, what was it? About 5 years ago, Jeremy, it was around about $300, $400. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look at it per share right now.
Yeah, had a split.
I mean,
unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. You know what I mean? Apple, Amazon, the same way. I mean, you look at companies like that, and there's more companies out there like that that's in that stage right now. That's in that accumulation stage right now, and they're just going along. They're making acquisitions, going along, and 2-3 years down the line, those companies, they're gonna take off.
Yeah, right. Yep, and that's it's amazing to know that, and that's what's incredible is a lot of people do forget just about the long-term perspective and time frame of trading, because a lot of us like to focus on the short term, like how much money are we going to make this month, you know, or this week or today. But a lot of times I like to remind myself, you have the ability. It doesn't even matter how old you are. Let's say you're 60 years old. You still have an easy 20 years ahead where you can just slowly compound growth over time. You can get rich slowly. You have the ability to make good trades, to make good investments, to make good money, to pay off debt, and to start living the dream that you want to live, but you just have to realize it first.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Man, good stuff. By the way,
absolutely.
I got to get you back down to Nashville before too long, man. It's been like a year.
I know, man. I know. I'm definitely headed that way too, man. I had such a good time. Me and my wife was talking the other day. I was like, man, I'm glad Jeremy and Ashley introduced me to sushi. Cause
have you had it since?
That was some good stuff. Yeah, we had some in Kroger. They had a bunch of different types, and we tried some.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as what we had that night, but it was pretty good.
Right. Man, I love that. So you mentioned earlier stress. How do you handle stress, Jason? What's your go-to stress? How do you relieve it?
I try to get in the gym a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to as of late because I've been grinding, trying to grind it out. But yeah, I like to go to the gym, and I also like to read a little bit, man. I really like to just go to another place, and that's what reading does. It takes me somewhere else for the moment.
Yeah.
And I have a 1-year-old. He keeps me busy, so he puts a smile on my face when I'm when I'm down and just thinking about life. He puts a smile on my face. But I think more so, Jeremy, as I get older, man, nothing really seems to. It may bother me, but I'm starting to realize that, as long as I got breath in my body, there's nothing to really stress about. I think things will take care of itself if I put myself in position for them to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I do everything that I possibly can to make a situation better, I'm a firm believer that the universe says, hey, okay, you've done your part, let me do my part. Let me throw you this, let me throw you that. It may not be what I want it to be, but it can be a remedy for the situation, whether short term or long term. So I kind of try to look at it in a different way now. I don't like to just sit and stress and worry and sit and stress and worry because it does no good.
Yeah.
It does no good. I can't change anything by sitting there like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. What am I going to do? Or I can't change it that way. That's just going to dig a deeper ditch, so to speak. So.
Yep. Yes, indeed. That is very, very true. What's your current schedule right now? Your life schedule, if you will. When you wake up, when you go to sleep, what does that look like?
Well, right now, my wife is currently, she is training for a job to stay at home.
Okay.
Stay at home customer service rep.
Okay.
So she's out training, doing that. I am at home with the little one till she gets off at like 5 o'clock or so.
Mm-hmm.
So she has like 4 more weeks of that, and then she gets to come home and do her thing.
Right. Gotcha. Well, which is good. That's
yeah.
Good. You're gonna have that position soon. Are you all ever gonna move out of Kentucky, or is that home for forever?
No, this is definitely not home for forever. One of the reasons why that we decided that she do something from home was because we do have goals and we want to get moved. Our 2 middle children, the sophomore and the junior, they'll be gone soon.
Mm-hmm.
So our plan is 3 to 4 years, see where we are with our savings and get moved. I don't know if we'll go towards Tennessee. We really liked Tennessee when we came down there. We really, really did.
Yeah.
I've already lived in Indiana for a long time. I don't know if I'll go that way towards Indy, or I don't know if I'll go, west or east. But Kentucky, I'm trying to set myself up to where I build up enough capital to where we can move, and I can just take my business and hit the ground and do it somewhere else, because basically it's a business, so it can go anywhere. And once I get to trading, then that's another thing. It's like, okay, well, I'm good to go, no matter where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, makes that exactly right. I mean, as long as you get that down, you're ready. You can trade anywhere you want, as long as it has internet.
Yeah.
Beautiful goals, man. I love it. And we really do need to connect soon. So at any time, feel free to text me, give me a call whenever you pop down to Nashville. I'd love to see you again, buddy.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely. And man, I really appreciate you reaching out to me, doing this interview. It was therapeutic for me, man. It was therapeutic.
Yes, no, my pleasure. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate chatting with you, my friend. It was really great to finally introduce you to the real life trading community. Everyone get a chance to hear your voice, know who you are. So if there's anyone in Kentucky, I know George and Jason have connected before, but if there's everyone else in the Kentucky area who wants to reach out to Jason, he is a wonderful human. So my friend, thanks for being here, dude. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Jamie.
Dude,
Talk to you later, buddy.
Pleasure. See you, buddy.
All right, bye.
See ya. And that's it, folks. That is Mr. Jason Jackson from the Kentucky area, real life trader. Just such a humble dude, incredible guy, generous, loving, caring, hard worker for sure. Some great takeaways. I always love chatting with each and every one of you, learning. That's kind of my goal, is to learn, to ask good questions, to introduce everyone to each other so that it's a community and you can really feel the family environment. As far as trades go, I think I'm done for the day. WDC was the one that I set up, and I missed it just by a few pennies. That would have been a really good afternoon trade. I know Paul is keeping an eye on Domino's Pizza to possibly break 268. FireEye has just continued higher. T-Mobile, chilling, not doing very much. BAX, this was one that I missed up on. 3D printing, going a little bit lower, down 26%. So 3D is getting just absolutely wrecked right now. CMI, could take that off the list. Facebook had a little bit of an acute bounce, so Facebook is doing its thing. Estee Lauder, ticker symbol EL, can take that off the list. General Motors made a new high. Let me see if AMD retested. Yep, so AMD broke out of the high of the day. It kind of is retesting right now. And the Qs is up 2.7%. Just made a new high of the day recently. So again, I still am keeping an eye on just simply when will these gaps fill. I do think that is a strong possibility. And I'll be looking probably to snag a put or two around the 200, or depending on what we look at tomorrow and Friday. Anyway, folks, I'll be here. You know that. Feel free to keep me posted. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help any way I can. But congrats to many of you for trading a nice, profitable day. I'll be back from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Energy Wednesday. And between now and then, for all those who are listening and watching, thanks for being here. You are amazing. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.